Alright, so to begin with, this is going to be a matchup against Law. I was kind of struggling with a lot of the pokes that he was doing in this matchup, so I'm just going to explain some of the things that I did correctly and what I did wrong, and what you could do to essentially improve onto your gameplay once you come across a Law player yourselves, and if you're the one also maining Double Jin. So let's begin essentially. So here I'm just trying to gauge what the opponent's gonna do to me, so I'm trying to back away. This is the first thing that I tend to do a lot in my first game against somebody that I did not match before. I'll back away first and then see what they'll do. Getting the feeling that Law is gonna be very aggressive, so since you saw he moved in, he went for a jab. He then missed the jab, of course, but then he ended up anticipating my jab, ended up stepping it pretty well, to be in fact. He goes for another jab. I am anticipating a string, but he doesn't go for the full 10 frame Jim. The jab. Goes for this. He goes for a hide, 4-3. I should have actually ducked the last hit right there, and then maybe go for a crouch jab. He does this instead to go and cancel out of DSS. Then he went for another jab. I went to duck it, but I wasn't fast enough to go into my wall standing 2. Seeing that he's spamming, I just went for back 3. I then go for running 3, and I'm anticipating to see whether or not I can go for some kind of frame chop, but I go for this instead. I go for the electric, which it wasn't even a perfect electric because I messed up on the input, so I wasted up heat by doing so. And he ended up ducking it. He goes for the final hit. I went to go for back 2-3 so I can go for the heat dash, but I was too slow. I just did that. I could have probably gone for maybe back 2-1 instead. Yeah, I can do that. Or I can probably go for something like this maybe. Yeah, I can do that maybe. But I can't do that. I can't do 3-1. I didn't even know he was going to go for a low kick. If he went for a mid kick, I probably could have landed the forward 4 into 3. That will launch him. He doesn't interrupt this, so I know that I can probably get away with spamming this if I wanted to. I go for only one attack. It's minus 13. You can actually punish this, but a lot of players anticipate the last hit from the Crow 2-2. This is a good mix-up, so I can then decide to go for either back 4 if he tries to press anything, if he hesitates, that is. But he instead looks out for the electric, so I went for back 4, so I'm safe here. I ended up messing up my heat smash. He goes for sidestep. I think that's 3+4. It could launch me, but since I was in the middle of the air, he didn't get the bound. Again, I should be ducking the 4-3 and then going for a crouch jab. You will see me get hit often by this same string. Goes for a mix-up. He's trying to catch me with the slide kick, but he might be just tempting me to crouch, so he'll catch me with that particular string that he used right there. I could have followed up with the final hit, back 1-2. This is launchable, you already know this, but he doesn't go for a launch. In fact, I did this multiple times and he has not launched it once.
Round 2. Fight.
This is safe, his down forward 2. So going for a jab wasn't really a good idea, but I could at least go for a down forward 4 even if it were to get blocked. But at least it's better than going for a jab right here. As you see, he ducked right there. So if he would have actually punished me accordingly with some kind of launcher or maybe even his own low standing 4, then I will be at a disadvantage right there. You see me trying to wave you dash here, I'm actually messing up a whole lot. I just cannot do it with my clammy ass hands, so I'm failing. But he ends up whiffing doing his sidestep 3+4. And I whiff punished with back 2-3. Go for another frame trap with running 3. This time I go for back forward 2-1-2. He doesn't press, but he doesn't step it either. See, he doesn't launch the sidestep 2, so I know I can just spam him if I wanted to, if I can catch him at one particular point. But his 1-1-2 is really good, and he goes into DSS, so I stopped doing it at that point. I go for a big punish with Can-Can, go for the second floor, I thought that I didn't get the bound there. My mind was not really, completely focused. I was kind of autopiloting when I did that. So if instead what you could have done was maybe this. Doing either of that would have been better than just doing back 2-1. These are all highs. I could have been ducking all of them. This is the thing also, because I feel like a lot of players also have this same problem too, because even though I know these are all highs, I'm just afraid that he can just interchange his string into something else. Because he can do that with certain strings, but not with this one particularly. So I just could have just ducked all of that and then punished it. But here he tried ducking and he gets hit by back 2-3.
Round 3. Fight.
Trying to fish for a back 4 counter hit. He doesn't let up at all. His movement is a lot better than mine, but he is doing a lot of side step, back step, which is not the proper way of moving, but it's still better than nothing, to be honest. Tries to catch me with that move. I believe that move is... Let's check one more time. That's minus 12, so I can go for my back 1-2 to punish him. But I did 1-1-2. 1-1-2 is still good because it still gives you a bit of Oki, but back 1-2 would have done more damage. See, I tried doing some wavy dash that I can't really do. I wanted to go for CD3, but I didn't get that. But I mean, I was gonna go for Hell Sweep, in fact, but in my mind right now, I wanted to do CD3. Doing this is fine since it floor breaks, but it would have been better to go for either 1 while standing 4 and then pick up with some other combo to float. This is a really bad combo. This is not the way you can go about doing it, to be honest. I'm just assuming he might just get up immediately and do like a wake up attack, but he doesn't, so I ended up whiffing my running 3. This is the last attack is a high, so I could have just ducked that as well, but I wasn't sure whether or not that string finishes at a high.
Round 4. Fight.
I tried to go for an electric there, but I ended up messing up. I'm just trying to bait him. If you see me stop at a nowhere, I'm just trying to bait him to do something. And you see that I did, it worked. He went for that. But if he finished with the last hit, the last kick, I can duck the kick. I could have punished that right there, but I did it there at least. See that I'm jittering around with moving? I'm trying to do the wavy dash. He anticipates that I'm going for down forward 2+3, which is his command grab, and it's only it's a 2 break, but he ducks it, anticipating. I don't know if he was anticipating the grab or if he was anticipating the electric. But he managed to then duck it and go for a launch. I try to bait him to see whether or not he might press anything, so if I fly up from wake up, I can go for 1 for a big launch. See, he punishes it again, not with the right punish though. And here is where I thought that I was going to get hit by the Rage Arc. I think the damage mitigation would have been high, but it didn't. It managed to take him out.
You win. Round 1. Fight.
Now for this one, this is going to be a promotion match against the Kazuya player on to the right. The way he played wasn't exactly extremely scary in a sense, how a lot of Kazuya players tend to play, but he was catching me off guard multiple times. He plays defensively and then just finding opportunities to actually attack me right afterwards. So I try to bait him as well and play a little bit more methodically, like thinking exactly how I should properly punish him. But here, I didn't think that he's gonna go at round start doing down 1+2. And I thought that's gonna go for hell sweep. So he did patricide fist instead and got caught. But he went for another low right here, and then I went for fly on wake up into 1. Mind you, you could go for 3-1 into marching, Demon's March I think it's called, into 2, and then go for probably either back to 1 for a launch instead. So I'm thinking to myself that he might not do anything. Like he either might respect me or he may not respect me and go for a simple attack. But he punished correctly with a power crush instead. I didn't react quickly enough onto the down back 4. And I also think that down forward 2 is -13 I think. Let me go back. Oh no, it's -12, so I could have gone for back 1-2 for more damage. I delayed the last knee kick because I thought he might actually spam right here.
Fight.
This time I thought he might go for down 1+2 once more, but he goes for down forward 2 instead. And that last hit can be ducked, but since he hit me off the ground, since I went to go for a wake up attack, it managed to land. Here I'm basically trying to fish for a launcher. I'm just, again, playing a little bit autopilot and also a little bit seriously because I want to get the promotion. He goes for down 1+2 and I catch him with up forward 3. This is +7 on hit, but it's also +3 on block, I believe. Somehow we managed to clash here. Here I end up getting blendered. He goes for the Oki and goes for 4-4-3 because I'm thinking he might go for hell sweep, but he doesn't.
Round 3. Fight.
I thought he might respect me there, but he didn't, so he went for his power crush. Has Oki now. He doesn't attack. I go for back 3 thinking that he might press buttons, but he doesn't. He doesn't launch me here and goes for down back 4. I anticipate a low coming out, so I block it. But I punish incorrectly. Going for wall standing 4-4 would have been your best option. Didn't duck it. I'm trying to bait him into that because I'm assuming that he might duck the hell sweep, but no, he just decides to block. I probably could have gone for 4-4-2 into the heat dash. Let me see. Yeah, that would have ended it right there. And this is his bullshit 4-4-2 because in heat he has more tracking with his Demon's Fist. So even if you do attempt to step it, you gotta be very, very well timed with your step just to be able to step this move. If not, then you won't be able to escape it, regardless of how you saw the move coming out and then stepping it. Caught him again with the wake up crow. To get the wall, but not close enough.
Round 4. Fight.
I thought that maybe it would resplat, but it didn't. Gets caught by this particular type of frame trap. Then I go for my gimmick here. And now just one more interaction and that's it.
You win.
So that's basically everything. What you need to learn from here is that when you're playing against these characters, these matchups, Laws has a lot of highs, and depending on the Law player that you're fighting against, they may love to go for a lot of strings. And a lot of their strings may end either in a high, or they may cancel out of their strings into DSS, which will allow them to basically then mix you up into either mids, highs, or lows. So you gotta be careful as to when they'll do that, but it's so difficult to tell that when they'll go into DSS, their stance. So you'll have to then just make a proper guess and then see whether or not if they will follow up into their string into a high and then ducking it and then punishing it. And if you ever see Law players kinda like not really engaging you, they're waiting for you to do something instead, they're probably trying to set you up into their side step 3+4, which launches, or they may try to go for their power crushes. So that might be one of the things that they may go for, or they may spam their 1+2, the nunchucks. And against the Kazuya, then depending on the style of play, they may either play more defensively, so that means that they may want to be more opportunistic, trying to play more on a counter hit type of style. So they'll fish for a lot of down forward 2s, they may try to go for a lot of patricide fist, they may even go for steel pedal a lot of the times. But on this matchup you saw that the Kazuya wasn't really going for that, he was trying to mostly go for down forward 2 to fish for counter hits, and then going for 4-4-3. So most of the well-known Vortex 50-50 type of Oki that a lot of Kazuya players tend to do a lot. So as long as you don't get at the wall where they might go for Oki, that's where you have to then simply guess for your life that they might go for either patricide fist, or they may go for 4-4-3, or they may go for the Hell Sweep. So you have to then properly guess at that point. But just make sure that if the Kazuya is fishing for something, and if you see that they might be going for a lot of lows, in this case this matchup, the Kazuya like to go for a lot of low attacks. So if you see that they're doing that, don't be afraid to hard raid them and go for ducks to block their lows. And that's basically all it is that you need to think about when you're coming across these kinds of players. So yeah, that's about all. If you guys enjoyed the matchup knowledge here, it's more about learning with Devil Jin, as well as picking out the things I did incorrectly and that you guys can then improve from my mistakes. So yeah, that's about all. I hope you guys enjoyed the series, and I'm almost done with Devil Jin reaching the Tekken King. I almost couldn't say it completely, and yeah. Stay tuned, stay safe.
Salute to all my fallen soldiers. I reminisce of a time gone. I never thought I would be in a war zone. Big salute, recipe to my man Tone. We got a club on, in other words, in the early morning. We used to get chicks in the suite. Casino comps in a large room full of drinks. It's what we now we out, let's take a ride. The suicide of a dry, yo, my brain fried. He was a true friend.